have you ever felt that creeping anxiety about missing deadlines or not hitting those big life milestones by a certain age? What if the years you call wasted are actually preparing you for work that you just can't see yet?
Seriously, I want you to think about this. What if you're not falling behind at all? What if that whole societal timeline we obsess over is just an illusion?
Take the acclaimed author Jin Lee, for example. At just 26, she took a massive leap of faith. She left a highly secure career in corporate law, stepping out into total uncertainty, without even knowing for sure if she could actually become a novelist.
And the waiting period was absolutely brutal. 12 long, agonizing years passed by before her first novel was published. And then, another entire decade went by before her masterpiece, Pachinko, finally came out.
If you were just looking at a standard timeline, chronological time was judging her harshly. It screamed that she was late. But that mechanical clock absolutely could not measure the invisible preparation and the deep struggles those years actually contained.
I mean, during her time at Yale, she faced some incredibly cold institutional judgment. She had respected professors who literally treated her Asian identity as evidence that she could not write. Imagine having that failing grade hanging over your head.
But here's where the story pivots. Yale's English department read that exact same work completely anonymously. And guess what? Without knowing her name, those anonymous judges awarded her prestigious prizes in both nonfiction and fiction. It was undeniable validation.
And she was building paths for others too. She fiercely advocated for Korean language courses at the university, pouring her energy into a cause knowing full well she would graduate way too soon to ever take those classes herself.
Then, one seemingly ordinary hour changed everything. A quiet college gathering introduced her to a forgotten piece of history. That single moment completely captivated her, and it ended up shaping what she worked on at her writing desk for the next 30 years.
To really wrap our heads around this profound shift in perspective, we have to look back at the ancient Greeks. You see, they actually had two entirely different ways of looking at time.
First, there's Chronos. Chronos is that heavy, ticking, mechanical clock that just rigidly counts the years. But then there's Kairos. Kairos is a clock of human purpose. It asks a much deeper question. What did those years actually make possible?
So, I want to ask you directly, which clock has been judging your life? Are you letting Chronos dictate your worth?
Are you really late, or have you just been following the entirely wrong clock this whole time?
This distinction is a real game changer. If you want to dive deeper and explore the full conversation on Chronos and Kairos, make sure to check out the link to Imaginary Talks.
And just a quick note before we go. This explainer is based on an imaginary conversation, designed purely for reflection. The featured individuals did not participate, and the dialogue doesn't represent their actual statements. Thanks for exploring this with me.